take care of the home during the winter time while he was here, and in the summertime when he was not. Now, Brigham Young loved to carve. He was a carpenter by trade, and on the sewing machine you can see a doll. He would carve each one of his granddaughters a doll, and when he gave it to them, then he would require that they sew clothes for the doll. And so by doing so, then they would learn to sew, and that was useful for the rest of their life. So it was, and again, if you look over toward the door, you can see, or the window, or the light's coming through, you can see those square nails in the floor.
I think all nails used to be square, weren't they?
They were actually a forged nail. And so they were square. Now this room is actually Amelia's room. This is where this is the wife who traveled with him. She was an extremely gracious woman, just a tremendous hostess, and was a very amiable person and a good representative for the church. Now, Amelia was not a nurse, but she knew a lot about medicine, and so she was able to travel with the prophet, and when he had problems with gout or with arthritis or whatever, then she was able to help him through those high or rough spots. And she loved seashells. Why, she never got to the ocean, but she loved the different shapes and sizes and colors. And so when people would come here to visit, then they would bring her a seashell, and then she would register what they brought.
Is that a chamber pot?
It is. Yep. No modern plumbing in this house.
Yeah, there's no bathroom in the house, huh?
Well, they can wash their hands over there.
Yeah,
That's right.
but you'd have an outhouse maybe, and you have to bring all your plumbing inside, huh?
Yep, so you know what we used to say, the old...
They could throw it out that window if they wanted to.
Actually, you know who was in charge of it?
No?
It was the boys.
Oh.
The boys had the job of keeping the chamber pots up. That's kind of like spittoon duty, maybe a little more. But, you know, we used to give the old adage over the bedstead and onto the floor and the 40-yard dash to the outhouse door. Down these stairs, I don't think I'd want to walk down those stairs half asleep.
Yeah.
Well, this is where the prophet spent the majority of his time during those last 7 years of his life during the winter time. Now, because he was so stove up with arthritis, the stairs that we came up was pretty near impossible for him. And so they would actually feed him here at this table, and he would interview his guests at this one. You see the other picture of George Washington over here. This room is well equipped with ventilation. What do you think of this color?
Yeah, I was just thinking it's a very modern color.
Yeah, it is.
The original, huh?
It is original. But it matches very well the colors that were in the wood.
Yeah.
And so it's really quite a friendly color. But he traveled a lot, but he traveled by buggy and by wagon and train. And so because he did, he had to have a traveling chest that would hold up under all kinds of abusive use. Kind of like going to the airport, you know, the baggage handlers. And so, I don't know if he built it or if he had it built, but this chest of drawers here was his, that was his traveling chest.
He took that with him when he traveled?
He did. and it was built extremely tough to withstand all of those baggage handlers. And one problem with building it so solid and so strong was that it was very drawer specific, that the drawers would only fit in one spot, and so it numbered them. And that way you wouldn't get mixed up in a hurry which drawer would go with.
Well, they look like they're different heights a little bit.
They do.
It would be specific that way.
Yeah, it wouldn't fit.
Now the hat box and the walking stick on the bed was his. I don't know about the hat.
Kind of a small hat.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know about the hat, whether it was his or not. But the prophet was a very proper individual, and because he traveled so much by dusty wagon and carriage, then he would leave his hat in the box until he got to his destination. Then he would take the hat out of the box, take his walking stick, dust himself off, and look very proper. And then the guests that came to visit him would actually, this is the waiting room here. Now, I like this room.
Yeah, we'll go to the balconies in there.
It is holds so much history, because this is where the folks that came to interview would stay, and if they had need to lay overnight, then the Mormon couch had the ability of extending the second set of legs and making a full-size bed.
Wow.
Sound like the futon.
Yeah, not too much different. The prophet in 1876 turned 75 years old, and the Relief Society and the brass band, St. George, marched up the street and stopped out here in the road and sang Happy Birthday and other hymnal tunes to him. And he donned his hat, took his walking stick, and even though he was pretty stove up, he walked out through these doors onto that veranda, listened to them, thanked them, and for their consideration. So for me, this room holds a lot of very interesting history. But that's the story of the